Network. It is time for a look at the midday market trade. Back to trade on a Monday, visiting with Kyle Bumsted, livestock market analyst. Kyle, you said there's kind of a few plates spinning in the air right now. What do we got going on as we start a new week, Kyle?
That's a good question, Chad. We're coming off the heels of a cattle on feed report, which at face value didn't look like there was much really to affect this market one way or the other. So we're back to watching box beef and looking for cash trade here this week. And a lot of folks are thinking cash trade is going to be a little bit weaker here this week. Starting out, we did see 228 trade late in Kansas on Friday afternoon on over 1,000 head. Not really quite sure what the quality is in those cattle, so it's tough to say what they were thinking or what that bid was about there. But nonetheless, that did trade, and we do have futures down here this morning. That August live cattle contract ran up to 211.25, up against some resistance there. The moving averages above us dropped down to 208.10. We're sitting here right in the middle of the day's range around 209.30, 209.25. Feeder cattle somewhat the same here. We set what someone call an open price low here on this August feeder contract, 301.35. We dropped down to 327 on the open there, and then we bounced back up to 303.87, sitting in the middle of the range here at 302.50. Now today's index looks like it's going to be down here about 14 cents at 310.85 area on a little over 4,700 heads. So going to really be watching here the sales going this week here to see if that gives us any better indication here of this index improving. But right now, it looks to me like some commercial selling here in the live cattle, and it looks to me just some non-commercial movement here. June live cattle going off 1 week from today. They expire June 30th at noon, so we'll see if there's any kind of movement there. But I do look for there to be some movement here in this June contract here. And with it being such a discount here to cash, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out here as we finish up the week here, Chad.
All right, thank you so much, livestock market analyst Kyle Bumsted. You can call him at 308-708-7340. This is the Rural Radio Network.
Out here on Nebraska's calm, welcoming waters, fishing is a breeze. It's the sweet spot where solo anglers find quiet before the catch, families reel in memories, and first-timers discover what makes fishing so special. From the Panhandle to the Platte, the best fishing happens here, beneath Nebraska skies. Get started at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Introducing the Rural Radio Podcast Hub. In a world flooded with podcasts, this one stands out by focusing on what truly matters, rural America. Stay informed with the latest market updates and insightful commentary on Final Bell. Keep up with rodeo and Western lifestyle through Breaking the Barrier and the Nebraska Rodeo Update. And sharpen your marketing skills with Grain IQ. RuralRadioNetwork.com. The Rural Radio Podcast Hub, the one place to hear it all.
This is a market update. I'm Bruce Gorder on the Rural Radio Network. Global fertilizer supplies are currently receiving little focus, but they should. Global nitrogen supplies are currently growing tighter due to geopolitical challenges. Ukraine hit one of Russia's largest nitrogen fertilizer plants earlier this month, putting it out of commission for an unknown length of time. Iran is the world's number 3 exporter of urea nitrogen fertilizer at 4.5 million metric tons. Much of that was shut down after Israel struck the South Pars natural gas field that is utilized to produce the fertilizer. In the early stages of the war, Qatar is across the Persian Gulf, and it is the world's number 2 exporter of urea fertilizer at 5.2 million metric tons. Its production has not been impacted, but its ability to export might be impacted if the Straits of Hormuz is shut down. July corn is down 10 3/4 at 4.18. December down 7 3/4 at 4.33.5. July soybeans down 10 at 10.58. November down 13.5 at 10.47 1/4. July Chicago wheat down 15 3/4 at 5.52. July wheat in Kansas City down 12 1/4 at 5.51. July wheat in Minneapolis 11 1/4 lower at 6.27.5. August live cattle down 87 at 208.95. October down 65 at 206.70. August feeder cattle down 45 at 302. September down 30 cents at 301.92. August lean hogs at 20 cents higher at 112.62. October up 32 at 96.35. Class 3 milk for July is down 19 cents at 17.32. This is the Rural Radio Network.